when you wash off the makeup, leave it in the sink. It'll be there for you when you come back. Go home, watch South Park, order some late night takeout, truly, and just like you're not that guy anymore. Hello, AsiaOne. It's great to speak with you. I'm Josh Groban. To be at the end of 25 years, I feel like I never thought that I would make it past the first album. So I think that to have been around as long as I have, I think is something that I'm really proud of because my music has not been a straight line of kind of top 40 and that kind of thing. My music has always been really about finding an audience and finding our own thing and paving our own path. So the fact that we've continued to do that is something I'm really proud of. I think that, having been a kid who dreamed of doing theater my whole life, I think when I stepped outside to take my Broadway debut, that was something I was able to kind of high five my younger self and say, like, you did it. My number one thing that I'm proud of for the last 25 years is I have a foundation that is an arts education foundation. And to have now a chance to give back to programs that were the kind of programs that saved me in so many ways when I was younger, and to be able to raise money for programs that need help, and to give young people access to the arts the way I had access to the arts, that'll always be my number one. The fact that I have the opportunity to do that is, I think, the thing I'm most proud of. I owe everything to my teachers, to my parents, to those that really allowed me to have access to a piano, to a drum set, to a microphone. For a kid who was shy, who was going through some dark times, having those music classes taught me who I am, and they allowed me to use a voice that I didn't know that I had. And so to have a chance to say yes when those programs ask for help, we're in a time right now in America where those programs are being cut at a very, very drastic rate. It's really a hard time here right now. And so to be able to make sure those programs stay afloat right now, at a time when they're needed, the help is needed most, is something that we're thrilled about. We're called Find Your Light, and it's something that I'm really proud of. In this business, there's always the pressure to make everything look perfect. And certainly, it's my job as an entertainer to make sure that, I put my best foot forward. I always pride myself in wanting to do that. But more and more, I started to hear from my listeners that my songs helped them get through dark times. And I felt like it was eventually kind of okay for me to share with them that we all go through that. And I certainly have gone through those too. There have been times in my career where I have felt, like I've been trying to find inspiration and couldn't find it. There have been days when I felt too hypercritical, and there have been days where I've battled anxiety, depression, mental health issues where things really looked great on the outside, but inside there were a lot of struggles. And every time that's happened, music has been the thing that's gotten me out of it. Listening to music and mostly writing music. So a lot of the songs that I've been able to write, like The Constant, like River, like Granted, February Song. These are all songs that have come from, inner turmoil and feeling like the music was what I needed to come out the other side feeling better. And the wonderful thing is that now fans can say to me that those songs resonated with them in the same way. And we can share that healing together because ultimately that's what this is all about. It really is all about telling a story, and it's all about connecting and finding that emotional core, whether you're singing something or whether you're diving into a script. You're still trying to go towards truth, and you're trying to move people through the storytelling of whether it's a character or a song. Obviously, I think for me with singing, there's something that you can tap into that is an added tool. Music is so emotional already. With acting, finding a way to get to that emotional core without being able to rest on music and singing is sometimes more of a challenge, but one that I really love. I love taking off the hat of me and putting on, the soul of another person. It's a great escape, and it's something I have a lot of fun doing. I like to choose characters that don't just rest on who I am as a person. I like to find characters that really kind of allow me to break out of me and dive into a very different type of person. and then make that character interesting by finding the honesty of what I bring to it. An example of that is Sweeney Todd. I played a monstrous killer on Broadway. I played like a really bad guy, and you know, having to tap into a character that really breaks from reality and becomes a vengeful, rage-filled killer, trying to find who the human being is in that person, who the Josh is in him, that's what makes that interesting. That even when you're playing somebody that is really, really awful, how do you find the thing that connects that character to all of us? That's the scariest thing of all. And I think that's the thing that makes acting so fun, is that you want it to be different enough from you, but then something in the nucleus that allows you to draw from your own emotions and your own experiences. At the end of the day, it is play and it is acting, and we all, we didn't carry it off stage with us. We all were, friendly, and even, I did it almost 300 performances. And when you get yourself to that kind of place emotionally, where you're so angry, so grief-filled, it gets into your molecules. And even though you're acting, and even though you take a bow and you say hi to people and you hug people, you do it enough, and your body remembers all the times you channeled that thing. And so the best advice that I got from previous Sweeneys who played the role before me was wash it off with the makeup. When you wash off the makeup, leave it in the sink. It'll be there for you when you come back. Go home, watch South Park, order some late night takeout, truly, and just like, you're not that guy anymore. But there were some nights I walked home because I needed to walk it off. First of all, music landscape is always changing. There are always new artists that come out that I'm inspired by, writers that I'm inspired by, singers that I always want to collaborate with. So music has a way of always challenging me and always showing me new places to grow and expand and be scared again over and over and over again. But also, I'd love to do more composing that's not singing. I'd love to write for film or TV or a video game. I think I'd have a lot of fun doing that. And so, yeah, I've got a lot left. And personal, I'd love to have a family, one day. I'd love to get started on that stuff. So, yeah, I've got a lot to look forward to. AsiaOne, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you during my GEMS tour coming to Singapore soon.